All right, let's get straight to it. We're about to completely overhaul your long-range game, and we're going to do it by applying real-world elite military doctrine directly to PUBG New State. You know, out there in the battlefields, the line between a legendary shot and a fatal miss isn't gear, it's discipline. And today, that's what we're building.
So let me ask you something. That last amazing sniper shot you hit, was that a calculated takedown? Or was it, if you're being honest, just a hopeful guess? See, the truth is, most players are just rolling the dice, relying on pure luck in every long-range fight. We're here to fix that.
And let's be crystal clear about this. What we're about to cover isn't just another list of tips and tricks. No way. This is a system, a blueprint, adapted from the best operators in the world for the digital battlefield. You're not just going to learn how to aim better. You're going to learn how to calculate your victory.
Okay, here's our mission briefing. We're starting with the right mindset, what I call the precision mandate. Then we dive into calibrating your weapon, gathering ballistic data, predicting enemy movement, checking your own readiness, and finally we'll run the drill that's going to lock all this stuff in for good.
First things first, the mindset. You have to understand that elite marksmanship is built on an absolute, unwavering commitment to the fundamentals. Every single action is deliberate. Every shot is the end result of a process. This means you have to make a conscious decision, right now, to replace luck with discipline. That, right there, is the precision mandate.
Got the right mindset? Good. Now we can talk about your gear. The absolute foundation of any precision shot is your weapon's zero. That's basically the default distance your scope is set for. And trust me, if you get this part wrong, every other calculation you make is completely, 100% guaranteed to fail.
So you're basically going to face two scenarios. Most of the time, your scope has a fixed zero at 100 meters. That's your baseline. Anything farther, and you have to manually account for bullet drop. But if you get your hands on a C2 custom kit for an M24 or SLR, you can actually change that zero on the fly. Remember though, real discipline is about mastering the tool you have, not just wishing for the one you don't. Okay, weapons calibrated. Now we shift into the intel gathering phase. This is where you become a detective, acquiring all the critical data you need for a clean shot. In the military, we'd call this ranging and dope.
So what the heck is dope? It stands for data on previous engagement. Think of it as your mental library of exactly how your bullet flies over different distances. In the game, your scope's BDC, or bullet drop compensation lines, are your dope cheat sheet. Each little line corresponds to a specific range. Mastering your favorite rifle means this data becomes second nature to you.
So here it is, your pre-shot mental checklist. Step 1, range the target. You must use the rangefinder attachment. This is non-negotiable. Don't ever guess. Step 2, recall your dope. If the target's at 300 meters, you know instantly you need the 300-meter line. And finally, step 3, align that correct line on your target. See? It's calculation, not a prayer.
Hitting a target that's just standing still? That's science. But hitting a moving target? Oh, that's an art form. Now, the game doesn't have wind, so we're going to adapt the real-world principle of windage to account for your target's speed. It all comes down to leading your shot to make up for your bullet's travel time.
And here's the data you need to burn into your brain. For a full sprint target under 150 meters, you need a tiny lead, maybe a helmet's width. Between 150 and 300 meters, you're going to need to lead by about 1 or 2 character widths. And anything over 300 meters, well, that's the big leagues. It requires serious predictive shooting and the discipline to adjust after your first shot.
Look, if you remember only one thing about hitting moving targets, let it be this. You have to shoot where the target will be, not where it is. This one idea is the entire difference between a hit and a miss. Say it with me. Shoot where they will be.
We've analyzed the weapon. We've analyzed the target. But now, it's time to analyze the most important and unpredictable variable in the whole equation. You, the operator. The best ballistic math in the world means nothing without perfect execution, and that all comes down to these 4 fundamentals.
These 4 are non-negotiable. First, a steady position. You've got to minimize that scope sway, so get prone if you can. Second, a perfect sight picture. That's just the result of all your math. Third, breathing control, and we're about to dive into why this is a game changer. And fourth, a smooth trigger pull. If you jerk the fire button, you throw everything off. The shot should almost surprise you.
All right, let's talk about breathing, because this is the secret sauce most players completely ignore. The perfect moment to fire is during what's called your natural respiratory pause, or NRP. It's this tiny 1 to 2 second window of perfect stillness right after you fully exhale. Firing in this window kills all the micro movements from your breathing and makes sure your aim is dead on.
Look, theory is great, but it's nothing without execution. So now we're going to run a drill. We're going to commit these principles, especially that breathing and trigger control, right into your muscle memory. This is how you learn to perform when the pressure is on.
Here's your homework. Go to the firing range. Set a target at exactly 300 meters. Now, before you even think about shooting, take 2 slow, deep breaths. In and out. Exhale completely, and then just pause in that stillness. That 1 second window is your moment. It's only then that you apply a smooth, steady press to the fire button. Do this again and again. Don't just grade your accuracy, grade your process.
You know, we started this whole thing by asking if your best shot was skill or just plain luck. Well, now you have the blueprint. You have the tools to make every single shot a deliberate, precise calculation. The choice, as always, is yours. Are you going to go back to gambling, or are you ready to embrace the discipline of a true marksman? Stay tactical.